Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. Devendra Fadnavis is all set to take oath as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra at Mumbai's Azad Maidan tomorrow, starting his third term in the top post. Now, he has called himself a Samandar that takes no prisoners, a modern age Abhimanyu who knows who his friends are and what it takes to make a comeback. And a resounding comeback it has been for the 54-year-old Fadnavis, a leader steeped in RSS upbringing, a corporator, a mayor, and MLA representing Nagpur, the citadel of the RSS, for 5 terms. Remember, he comes from Vidarbha, the less prosperous, deprived section of Maharashtra, a state known for its chief ministers from western districts and Marathwada. Now, Fadnavis has a proven record when it comes to governance, be it infra projects or even handling the Maratha agitation. But this term, it's going to get more challenging. There are allies to be managed, there are expectations to be met, and then there is Maharashtra, central to the nation's economy, that wants growth and governance. Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde, the caretaker chief minister of the state, and Ajit Pawar also addressed a joint press conference after submitting a letter of support to the governor. Fadnavis as chief minister, Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde as his deputies. What is going to be the path forward for the Mahayuti? What are the challenges? Who will call the shots? What will be the dynamics of this coalition? And most importantly, what can people of Maharashtra expect this time? That's what we will try and understand tonight. But first, let's look at some reactions.
नई सरकार का शपथ विधि ये 5 तारीख को शाम को 5:30 बजे विश्व गौरव भारत के प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी की उपस्थिति में संपन्न होगा। मुंबई के आज़ाद मैदान पर ये संपन्न होगा। कल मैं स्वयं माननीय हमारे मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे जी के पास गया था और एकनाथ राव जी को मैंने ये निवेदन किया था कि हम सभी की इच्छा है कि इस सरकार में वे स्वयं हमारे साथ रहे। शिवसेना के भी विधायकों की इच्छा है और महायुति के भी विधायकों की इच्छा है और मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि वो हमारे साथ रहेंगे। महाराष्ट्र की जनता को जो वादे हमने किए हैं उन वादों को पूरा करने के लिए पूरी जी जान के साथ ये सरकार काम करेगी।
आज आम्ही राज्यपाल महोदयांची भेट घेऊन महायुतीचं सरकार स्थापन करण्याची परवानगी मागितली आणि राज्यपाल महोदयांनी परवानगी दिली। उद्या आझाद मैदानमध्ये संध्याकाळी 5:30 वाजता शपथविधी आहे।
मी सगळेजण मिळून महाराष्ट्राच्या सर्वांगीण विकासाच्या करता मनापासून प्रयत्न करू। आम्हाला अनुभव आहे, त्या अनुभवाचा फायदा राज्यातल्या सर्व समाजाला, सर्व जाती घटकाला कसा करून देता येईल। वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे गोष्टी घडत असतात, नैसर्गिक संकट येत असतात, त्याच्यात आमचा शेतकरी अडचणीत येत असतो, परंतु त्याला पुन्हा त्याच्यातून कसं आधार देता येईल, बाहेर काढता येईल। आणि आता केंद्र सरकार पण त्या बाबतीत मागेही बरोबर होतं, आताही बरोबर आहे। आता 5 वर्ष आता ते अतिशय चांगलं बहुमत आहे की त्याच्यात आता कुठेही आम्हाला तिघांना पण त्याला सांभाळा त्याला सांभाळा, हा तिकडे गेला, हा रुसला फुगला, आम्ही रुसून फुगून देणारच नाही, पण असं फार काही तिथं वेळ देण्याची जबाबदारी येणार नाही। ती चंद्रशेखर बावनकुळे आणि सुनील तटकरे त्यांच्या स्तरावर पार पाडतील।
नवनिर्वाचित विधिमंडल के नेता के नाम में देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी का मेरा बधाई। और महाराष्ट्र से ऐसे अनएक्सपेक्टेड अनप्रेसिडेंटेड विक्ट्री इज अ बिग मैसेज टुवर्ड्स विकसित भारत। मैं ये जरूर संदेश देना चाहती हूँ कि डबल इंजन की सरकार मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में महाराष्ट्र के लिए और महाराष्ट्र के भविष्य के लिए उत्साह से, उमंग से और जैसे चुनाव पत्र में आपने घोषणा की उन सभी वायदों को पूरे करते हुए महाराष्ट्र को आगे लेके जाएंगे।
Well, an important day for Maharashtra tomorrow. Joining me now is Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP. We have Susie Ben Shah, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena. We also have Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. But before I bring you in, let me go to my reporters. Let me go to my colleagues, Anuj and Radhika, who are joining us from Mumbai. Radhika, to you first. BJP leadership has finalized Mr. Fadnavis's name as its choice for the Chief Minister's post. It was expected. And then, of course, the press conference that happened was far more interesting. You've also reported a short while ago that Eknath Shinde is also likely to be sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister. Tell us all the updates from Maharashtra and also what is expected tomorrow.
That's right. After a tug-of-war that lasted for 11 days, finally a Chief Minister in the state of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, will be sworn in as Chief Minister tomorrow. Of course, he took state claim for the Maharashtra government before the governor. All three leaders were present. They, of course, put up a united front. We are together front is the a messaging as far as all the three leaders, Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde or Ajit Pawar, are concerned. Yes, we are given to understand that Eknath Shinde has decided to take up the post of Deputy Chief Ministership along with Ajit Pawar. We know for a fact that there had been discussions, deliberations going on. Eknath Shinde was not really willing to give up a Chief Ministership post, but he didn't have that kind of bargaining power. And as a result of the huge numbers that we're talking about as far as the BJP is concerned, as Devendra Fadnavis becoming the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Also, now remains to be seen how much Eknath Shinde will get in this bargain. He may have accepted Deputy CM post, but what about the plush portfolios? He did speak about how, 2.5 years ago, he was given Chief Ministership position and was recommended by Devendra Fadnavis, and he is returning the favor now. He would like to refer Devendra Fadnavis as the Chief Minister, but will he get Home Ministry in return? Because remember, Devendra Fadnavis was also the Home Minister when he took up Deputy Chief Ministership post. Will he get that portfolio? What about finance? And what about several other plump portfolios that Shinde at the moment is vying for? All that will become clear in a few hours. Of course, an official confirmation of who is getting what is something that we are waiting for at the moment. But the long wait is over. Devendra Fadnavis is now going to take oath as the Chief Minister as expected. But what is very interesting is that all the three leaders, despite the differences that we know were happening in the closed door, they decided to sort of come to a consensus without any sort of ugly show or any kind of disagreements out in the open. So it was more respectful and professional, so to say, as far as the dealing and the understanding among all the three allies. So
that's a very important point. Anuj, do we have any clarity on the shape of the cabinet? And like Radhika was also saying, there's a lot of display of cordiality, but at the same time, there's also muscle flexing that's happening. That's very essentially the kind of BJP discipline that we've seen even in Delhi. Tell us, do we have any clarity on what the final cabinet could look like? Anuj.
Maharashtra has got 43 cabinet ministerial berths, and we saw that a couple of years ago when Mahayuti came into being. It was sort of an experiment that was put ahead by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and a very unlikely one, that too. And there we saw that the portfolio distribution was pretty much equal between all the three parties, only because there was a requirement of each other to stay in the power, right? And a lot of things have changed from 2022 or 23, because that's when NCP joined, to now, because now the Bharatiya Janata Party as a whole is very much capable of taking little help from any one of the two parties and form the government. And secondly, it's because it was a pre-poll alliance this time around, unlike what was the case last time when everything was put forth as a post-poll experiment. Now, amongst the 43 cabinet berths that are there in Maharashtra, a majority of it, a lion's share, is expected to go with the Bharatiya Janata Party, unlike last time. The number can range from anywhere between 22 to 25, but it'll be interesting to see if they make any compromises amongst their leaders when it comes to reducing a few of their portfolios just to keep their allies happy. And we can expect that to happen, considering how much of leeway they've given to especially Eknath Shinde in last 10 days, as even by delaying the announcement of the chief ministerial phase. Secondly, Eknath Shinde has been asking for some very important portfolios besides keeping the one which he already had last time around. Be it excise, be it about PWD, be it an important portfolio that is urban development, which he himself held. But this time around, of course, he wants finance and home too, is what we're learning from sources. But it's very unlikely that Bharatiya Janata Party might let go of those portfolios, and Eknath Shinde's cabinet berth might range from 13 to 14, and in the case of Ajit Pawar, it might range from 9 to 11 as of now. But of course, a clear number will become public in a few hours from now onwards.
Okay, thank you, Radhika. Thank you, Anuj, for joining us. Charu Pragya, to you now. You spend a considerable amount of your, years, life in Mumbai, and one thing that is amazing and impressive is that the BJP has somehow ensured that there's no open wrangling of power. It's not just the BJP; Mahayuti allies have also, maintained that sense of cordiality. Is it the numbers that really spoke for themselves, and what are the challenges that you see henceforth for the Mahayuti? Because while the numbers are there, the mandate is for clean governance, the mandate is a landslide victory, but clearly managing allies as time changes is not going to be super easy.
A very good evening to you, Vasudha, and it's always a pleasure to be on your show. Let me begin by congratulating the CM in waiting of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis ji. We couldn't be happier. He is the first chief minister after a really long time to complete the term of 5 years. He has been the very epitome of grace when he took the oath as the deputy chief minister. And the same thing has been done by Eknath ji this time. Mahayuti is united. And I remember right after election results, when I was on your show, I said this: one thing is certain, there is going to be a strong, honest, dedicated Mahayuti chief minister, and that is exactly what is happening. We've had a tremendous strike rate in Maharashtra. We've performed really, really well in that state. And the reason for that is that 2.5 years of good governance that the state has received under the guidance of Mahayuti. The best thing is, here is a front which is completely united, extremely dignified. They're exchanging happy banter. There are smiles all around. And this poses for a very confident picture for all the citizens. It's a fantastic thing. This is not like the India Alliance leaders where they're washing their dirty linen in public, where they go complaining to the media before to their leaders, when they're telling everybody that our neta is not meeting us, so on and so forth. Disagreements might happen, but there is a way to deal with them. The most important thing is sticking true to your ideology. The most important thing is always doing what is better for the people.
Right. So, Sibain, you talked about dignity day before yesterday when I was speaking to you. Today, Devendra Fadnavis said that the CM's position is just a technical arrangement, and all three have been taking decisions earlier as well. But clearly, tomorrow when Eknath Shinde takes oath as the Deputy Chief Minister, as it is being reported, what are your expectations? Because all of that will also be in some ways assessed by the kind of portfolios that he becomes in charge of. So, Sibain, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Congratulations to the very respected and our leader of Mahayuti, one of the tallest leader of Mahayuti, Devendra Fadnavis ji, and congratulations to Charu Pragya also. We'll continue to work together towards progress, stability, peace, and development in Maharashtra. As far as we are concerned, Eknath Rao ji is our Pramukh Neta. He is the man who led from the front to this stupendous victory, and I'm sure that जैसे PM sir had said कि एकनाथ राव जी हम आपके साथ चट्टान के तरह खड़े हैं. Let me assure everyone of Mahayuti कि this time around our CM sir, our Eknath Rao ji Shinde is standing like a chattan behind Devendra Fadnavis ji and the entire Mahayuti government. Yes, we had said कि मान सम्मान. We are a very emotional party, you see, and very hardworking cadre as well. So we repeatedly said that we would, I think 3 days after the result, Devendra Eknath Rao ji had said that whatever our PM sir and Amit Shah ji decides, it is acceptable to us and we will work together. But we always maintained that we wanted a little respect and dignity, and I am sure with able leadership of PM sir, as Devendra Fadnavis ji rightly mentioned him as a Vishwaguru, PM sir, Narendra Modi ji, we will definitely get the dignity and respect also in the portfolios. You can be rest assured, we are all rest assured.
Okay. Amitabh Tiwari, let's also talk about Devendra Fadnavis, seen as this ultimate comeback man. What do you think really worked for him? Because, just hardly 5 months ago, he was also being blamed for the BJP setback in Maharashtra in the Lok Sabha elections. But during the assembly polls, every BJP candidate that I spoke with wanted Devendra Fadnavis to come and campaign for them. He's also seen as somebody who has handled challenges like Maratha agitation. He's also seen as somebody who has ensured, like many of his detractors, CM contenders are not in Maharashtra anymore. So he is a, outright, out-and-out politician who knows who his friends are, who his rivals are, organization man. But what did he get right this time?
See, essentially, if you see, he, of course, was the front runner for the CM position because he has been the chief strategist of the party in Maharashtra for a long time now. And I think the biggest thing which has worked in his favor is that at the time when the party wanted him to become deputy chief minister and participate in the 2022 cabinet as a under Eknath Shinde ji, he took that, or he accepted that responsibility, and he continued to work diligently under Eknath Shinde and all the three together as a team. Now we see great camaraderie between all the three leaders, and the press conference also had a humorous angle, so which means that all seems to have been well settled. See, Devendra Fadnavis was mayor of, he started his career pretty early, so he is a young leader in that sense, has been mayor of Nagpur and is hands-on in Maharashtra in terms of the political experience. He has managed the finances well of the state. When he was the chief minister, he's one of the rare chief ministers to have completed a 5-year term in Maharashtra in 2014 to 2019. Plus, he comes from a background which has close RSS or strong RSS roots. His father having close RSS roots. So that all these things I think have worked for Devendra Fadnavis. Plus, he's seen as a person who has a good image among the middle class voters, and we know that Maharashtra is a highly urban state with 45% of population. He has a very pro-development and infrastructure image, which also works to his advantage.
Right, that's very well said. Charu Pragya, one interesting thing, and I'm sure you would answer this really well. At the BJP legislators meeting today, Fadnavis also spoke about how the Mahayuti's victory was due to Prime Minister's "Ek hai to safe hai" slogan. He in fact also spoke about "Modi hai to mumkin hai." And even during the campaign, his own campaign, his own, canvassing was a combination of how the MBA has stalled projects, but also he spoke about Dharm Yudh, Vote Jihad. What is the kind of expectation that you have from Devendra Fadnavis's politics now? Do you see more of an ideological counter or more of governance, given that he has the numbers?
One thing, Vasudha, that Narendra Modi ji has shown to the country is that dharma and development go hand in hand. And when development is done with dharma in our hearts, it's far better, it's lasting for longer, and you win the people's trust that way. That's exactly why our Pradhan Mantri ji took Shapath for the third time in a row, creating history. The same thing has happened in Maharashtra. The kind of a victory that Mahayuti has had this time, if you look at the strike rate of Mahayuti, it's close to 89%. It is only because development was done in the state with dharma in our hearts, and there is no deviating from this path. We say it again and again because we mean it, and it is important. We have to focus on staying united when the entire world around us is crumbling. Wherever you look today we had news emerging from South Korea. Every single day we wake up to problematic headlines from a different part of the world. India has to remain safe, and the only way that's going to happen is when we are united, when we do not allow, forget outsiders, even people living within this country to divide us. We cannot let that happen, and that is a narrative that needs to go strong into the future. It doesn't matter who wins an election. Any political party which deviates from this is not going to go a long way in our country. Another thing is that in a very short span of time, in just 2.5 years, the kind of project that have not been inaugurated but delivered, given to the people of Maharashtra, has been tremendous. Even if you look at issues which were problematic, like, there was an issue with soya bean, the way the government tackled this, looking out for the benefit of the farmers, helping out whenever possible, making sure that women feel appreciated and safe, all of these things add up, and this is what Maharashtra needed in continuity.
Right. Susi Ben, I know you wanted to respond, but let me also ask you this question. The dynamics of the alliance, do you think it's going to change with the BJP now having the CM post? Because like Charu also said, there are, other stuff also coming up. There's a big BMC elections coming up. Looking back, do you think that there are areas where the Shiv Sena could have possibly worked for the interest of the party more? In the sense, could you think that you could have convinced the Mahayuti leadership or the BJP leadership to go for a pre-poll announcement of a CM post? Because 2024 Lok Sabha elections, you had a better strike rate than many other parties.
Yeah, you see, I will tell you this, that first, as far as the stupendous victory, we as Mahayuti had very clear messaging as to what our ideology was and what we stood for. We stood for Hinduism, we stood for development, and therefore it was witnessed and appreciated by all present. There was no mincing words. There was no going right and left like UBT. Sometimes you have Uddhav Thackeray saying my secular bhai aur behno, then you have mere pyare Maharashtra. No, mere Hindu bhai aur behno. That was the ideology, that was the clarion call. Or ek hai to safe hai, ek hai to nek hai. So therefore we had Maharashtra voters buying into the idea, looking at the idea that we have to be together, whether it be the Marathas, the OBCs, the poor, the rich, we all have to work as one society, and that's how it is worked. Therefore, the messaging was absolutely clear and we worked very, very hard. That's one part. As far as the second part is concerned, what was the second question, Vasudha?
I was asking you, is there any...
corporation.
Yes.
Corporation. Yeah, see, now that the corporation is concerned, we are very, very sure that Eknath Raoji is our undisputed leader as far as Mumbai, Thane and Konkan is concerned. Now, to keep UBT as decimated and as vanquished as they are today, it would be very, very necessary that Eknath Raoji has the leadership position as far as tackling the corporation is concerned. And I'm sure since 2014, he's handled the urban development portfolio, and therefore between the three of them and our leadership in Delhi, I'm sure they will do justice. I will sure that the respect and dignity that Eknath Raoji deserves will be maintained, and you will see that the corporation also will have 100% strike rate.
Okay.
Watch my words.
Okay, last word from Amitabh Tiwari. We're talking about managing allies, we're talking about growth, governance, something that's very crucial to Maharashtra and also for the country. But tell us, sir, what according to you is the top 5 challenges for this Mahayuti Sarkar? And also, what do you think will be the signature aspect of Fadnavis's governance in the upcoming term?
So one, of course, will be managing the various caste aspirations and conflicts which have taken place in the past. With now a Brahmin chief minister, how does the Maratha agitation leaders now react to this, because they have been significantly opposed to Devendra Fadnavis in the past. The second is that a lot of the social welfare schemes which have been promised have a bearing on the budget. And we've seen that the fiscal deficit of the state, though still within 3% limit, has increased because of those schemes. So managing fiscal discipline along with the social welfare aspirations is going to be a key challenge. And the third, I think, and the most important could be the infrastructure development of the urban cities, especially Mumbai, as Devendra Fadnavis himself has an ambition of making it at par with any other global city like a Singapore or a Dubai in the world. So how do we get the funds, and how does the state government manage the aspirations of the middle class living in the metro cities, solving their issues? So all these 2-3 big challenges are there, and I think they will be able to handle as a team, because I think today good camaraderie has been shown, and it all's well that ends well sort of a story is there in that.
Well, the optics and politics of unity. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. Devendra Fadnavis all set to be sworn in as Maharashtra Chief Minister tomorrow. And of course, he has been elected the BJP Legislative Party leader today. He's coming back as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra for the 3rd time tomorrow. Remember, Mahayuti Alliance scored a landslide victory in the recent elections. Eknath, Shinde and Ajit Pawar also to take oath. The big oath-taking ceremony tomorrow. We'll be tracking that very closely. But now it's time for a short break. More news on the other side.